Hello, my name is Averil and welcome to my multimedia presentation to EDC 1200 on how education might mediate difference and dominance. The topic I've decided to address is culture, the impact culture has on our everyday lives and why it is important for young primary school aged children to engage in multicultural activities. Everyone defines culture differently. One way to put it is to say it is made up of certain behavioural patterns that refine individuals and groups within society. It is classed as a form of identity. Culture is often based and categorised using judgments and assumptions. People assign people to a culture based on their observations and experience. Weeks defined it as a form of identity that is about belonging, about what you have in common with some people and what differentiates you from others. We encounter culture on a daily basis. We observe others, assume and categorise them into a culture before we even know it. It is important to familiarise children with multicultural experiences from a young age so that when they do come in contact with cultural experiences later on, it isn't seen the wrong way. Difference is often deceived. When people are introduced to new things that isn't something they commonly engage in, they often feel uncomfortable and see this difference as a negative rather than a positive. By creating a positive experience, it helps reduce discrimination. By educating children on multicultural, it gives us an opportunity to teach about the differences that culture holds. There are aspects of religion and politics that create different ideologies, traditions that have been in place for centuries that culture abides by, race issues which create differences, procedures that have significant meaning and play a part in culture's history, beliefs that may often create conflict and differences. There is also ideologies that have personal meanings to culture. There are often dominant views that are produced. The children may already have some based on family's culture and experiences that they've experienced with culture. Assumptions may have been made. For example, after seeing certain cultural procedures, it may create a positive or a negative opinion on that particular culture. It is important as an educator to create diversity, to teach, however, not to label or exclude cultures, not to name and categorise children. We have the opportunity to focus on strengths and not speak negatively on a culture. It is important to let children learn and decide for themselves which views to follow. The age group I've decided to teach is between grades 1 and 3. I will conduct a class that will discuss different cultures that are present in our community. I will ask the children to engage in discussion, to share their knowledge and even talk about any cultural practices that they have of their own or in their families. I will use show and tell methods, which is often a more creative and interesting way for children to learn. I've also created a culture table on the next slide, which will be good for discussion topics. This is a picture of cultural objects found around my home. Children will also be welcome to bring in items and discuss using a show and tell method. This table gives the opportunity to educate and ask children if they recognise any of the culture present on the table. We can then discuss the practices that these cultures partake in. Let's take a closer look. We have hula girls who are from Hawaii. We recognise them to wear grass skirts and do the hula dance. We have Native American Indians who paddle their canoes down the river. We have Buddha, who symbolises prayer. We also have artwork from India with lots of intricate details. These all symbolise culture and help children understand the different things that go on outside their own cultures. Here we have Aboriginal artwork. This is a culture children may already be aware of. Aboriginal artwork goes back thousands of years and used to be painted using natural materials on rocks. Aboriginals are still a very evident culture within Australia. By familiarising children with their practices and learning a little of the history, it will help reduce unwanted judgment and discrimination. After viewing different and dominant views of culture, we see why children need to familiarise themselves with it. By engaging in culture around the community, it reduces negative thoughts and discrimination.